Elden Ring will be easier, Dev says, but no difficulty options. So let's see what he says here. uh, okay. Since Elden Ring is less linear than previous games, bosses, a historically important part of the Souls-like experience, can be avoided in favor of exploring a new area. From Software hopes this leads to fewer instances of players getting stuck on a boss battle and not being able to advance the story. The game can even be completed without defeating some bosses, Miyazaki said, a side effect of the freedom of choice for which the developers are striving. Multiplayer is also a factor, and while details are scarce, Miyazaki mentioned that the online system makes it easier to call in backup this time around, and if all else fails, Elden Ring players can still leave messages scattered around the world, providing tips and words of encouragement, or simply commiserating at tough points of the game. So yeah, the game structure is going to be more free, more open, and less gridlocks like traditional Soul games have. So that being said, it's going to be easier in that respect, but I fully assume the boss battles to be just as hard as any Dark Souls game. And also, I commend them for not caving to the pressure to add a difficulty mode. Because they don't want to.
It seems like a vocal minority.
Yeah.
No offense.
Yeah.
but it just is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who wants that.
It's like Returnal. Like I haven't heard anything about them changing the save states just yet, but I was able to beat the game. I loved it.
Yeah.
It's currently my game of the year. That's how much I love it. But that is the type of game that it is.
Yeah.
And you get better by continuing to play and anticipating what will happen and then reacting accordingly. That's how you get better.
Yeah.
So in that regard, I just don't see why they need difficulty options if that's the kind of game they want to create.
Yeah, and I want to Fextra Life has a great video on this.
I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, so I want to point out something he said. I don't remember off the top of my head, but Miyazaki and his team have 5 key criteria for the difficulty of their games. One of the criteria is that the game cannot punish a player simply based on them having slower reactions or physical attributes, right? So that means that
it's just not the case for shmups.
Yeah, it's not the case
for
Returnal. Or Returnal. But the case for Dark Souls games and Demon Souls and Bloodborne and Sekiro in this game, you don't, when people say get good, like Fextra Life says, it doesn't mean get more reflexes. It doesn't mean...
I would argue, I'm hearing you, but at the same time, I would interject here, that Sekiro is not like the others.
Yeah, okay.
And Sekiro would use
reflexes. Let's pull Sekiro out. I agree with you.
Sekiro's vicious.
That game, I hated that game, but I beat it, and that game made me hate life for like a while. All right, so that being said, let's take out Sekiro. Let's put the Dark Souls games, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, and Elden Ring, all right? The game is designed so that you learn from your past mistakes. You know that when you enter this corridor, there's a guy over here and a guy over here, and they're waiting to ambush you.
Not so much you know, but you learn.
You learn. So you can act accordingly. That's how the game is designed to be. It's designed to win through trial and error. It's not saying, oh, well, I'm sorry, you're just not fast enough or you're not quick enough.
Which I think is where a lot of the backlash comes from, because that mentality of gameplay, or that version of gameplay, is very old school.
Yes.
Now people want to hold your hand. They don't want death to be a factor in the game.
Yeah.
and they just want you to keep moving. Just do your thing and enjoy the game, which is
it's fine for some games.
It's just a different version of game development and game design.
Yeah,
that's it. And I don't think it's that bad to be like, okay, you know what, this game just isn't my cup of tea.
Yeah,
and then move on with your life instead of trying to be like, I need this game to be made for me.
Yes. Yeah. Don't just because you don't like the way a game plays. Don't act like the developer has to change the game for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. And when people say get good, don't take it as them insulting your physical abilities.
Yeah, just keep picking away at it.
Yeah, what they're saying is keep learning.
Yeah.
Keep learning. Like, for example, Dark Souls games, one thing that people don't mention is that even players who can beat those games, they have to play the same level 10, 20 times sometimes because there's that one enemy they just can't beat. And then once they figure it out, it's easy. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's not coming from my mental reflexes. That's not coming from my hand-eye coordination. It's coming from experience. And we can all gain experience. And that's what they try to develop these games for. Experiences. It rewards experiences, And
thinking how to approach any given situation differently. A good example that I like to say is actually funny enough. Sekiro.
Yeah.
I hated
Lady Butterfly.
Lady Butterfly, yes.
There's a lot of things to hate in that
game. Lady Butterfly, but also I hated the Great Ape.
See, and that's funny.
The Great Ape.
That's funny because I beat him easily.
So I hated the Great Ape.
Yeah, I actually had a good time with him.
The thing is that once I got to the point, and this isn't a spoiler, but it is a spoiler, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah. The game's old now.
There's a second half to the fight. After you beat the Great Ape actually resurrects, and it's like, no, you're not done yet.
Yeah.
And it's horrific and awful in equal measure.
Yeah.
And the thing is the way to overcome and how it's been deconstructed or simplified into the realm of get good.
Yeah.
Is literally, even though it broke me, and I went ahead and looked at YouTube and was trying to find strategies on how to fight this thing.
Yeah.
Just because you could see the strategy and you could see a person, conquering this enemy that has been brutalizing you, it still takes your own experience to understand the feel of when to move or react to when the enemy gives a tell.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, I need to move accordingly.
Yes.
So that's how you get good. It's literally just doing this thing over and over again until you overcome the challenges that lie in wait.
It's like playing an instrument in a way. So
yeah, games are music, bro.
Yeah.
And there's music games.
Actually, music is way harder than games. Like playing the guitar is like 100 times harder than playing Dark Souls. Super hard.
But the getting good is growing those calluses, getting that muscle memory to know where to.
Yeah. So like, yes, that's what it is. If you don't tell a guitar manufacturer to make a guitar with different levels of,
that's where Guitar Hero comes from.
Easiness. Yeah. That's where Guitar Hero. So look, let's just say also another thing he brought up was the way that they're designing this game, like Miyazaki just said, you can beat it in different ways. Yes. If you're having a hard time, skip it. Go somewhere else, explore, get stronger, then come back. And that's what this game is going to be like. So I'm just excited for Elden Ring, man.
I'm super excited. Honestly, this E3, as lackluster as it may be, it really started off with a banger.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for the Game Fest, the Summer of Games conference, but Elden Ring was huge.
It's huge.
And that's how kind of like E3 for me started.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, nothing else will live up to this.
Yeah.
And in many ways, nothing did.
Yes.
Except for, in my opinion, Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
But no, Elden Ring is one of my most anticipated games. I'm super excited. We're both huge fans of the Soul series.
Yep.
So I cannot wait.
I beat them all.
But the thing that I think is a little bit like I'm intrigued to find out how it works is the fact that the story is so flexible that you can go ahead and pick and choose whomever you want to fight.
Yeah.
But it still fits.
Yes.
It's like, I wonder how that works.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Especially with George R.R. Martin behind the lore.
And apparently he finished the story years ago.
Oh, wow. He finished something.
Yeah. He finished the story for Elden Ring 2 years ago.
That's how much he cares about this game.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just it's like nothing for him to write a game story. He's probably just like, it's on a cocktail napkin. He's like, he hands it to Miyazaki.
Yeah, exactly. Miyazaki's like, tight.
As long as it's good. So, yeah, that's it for the show this week. I'm glad we could do it in person.
Yeah,
it's always better.
Yeah.
And hopefully next week we'll be able to continue this up. So thanks, everyone, for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave comments. Let us know.
What did we get wrong?
Yeah.
What did we get right?
Yeah.
Do you agree? Do you disagree?
I love seeing the discussion in the comments because some people are like, you're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. And other people are like, man, I completely understand what you're saying. So it's like,
even though you're stupid, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, that's it for this week. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you all next time.
Keep on gaming. Take care.